That camera is
clear. Hi guys, give me 1 second. We're getting on live, getting ready to get on here with you guys. Thank you so much for joining already. What is today? Today is Tuesday, and I am so excited. We have a great show for y'all today.
I can't believe how different you look on the two. This is crazy.
Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. It is episode 7 of Becoming You with Marjani. Aladin, that's me. If you didn't know, this space for personal development. We tackle all things, just seeing the reality of it, living in that moment, and then assessing elsewhere. That's applicable to conversations as well. Communication is so much deeper than just hearing what people say to you. It's more than just someone speaking and then you responding with your opinion. Great communication begins in the mind. So we tend to think of being immediately, or sometimes in between, we're immediately responding. I want to talk about, before we get into those moments, result, or at least coming to a common place between two people. We'll argue, when we're going to disagree, when we might feel emotional or in our feelings. I get in my feelings, but these tips will really help you kind of reel yourself in so that you're not making emotional decisions in spaces that can really have an effect on your life in the long term. You don't want to blow up at somebody at work and lose your job because you were in your feelings. You don't want to say something to your significant partner, your significant other, that's going to give them, just because that day you didn't want to be bothered or you couldn't feel, who you want to be is so important. Who you are is not a foundation of building blocks of like you were put together like this. Who you are is who you decide to be every single day. The people that you choose that will not only where you'll go in motion, where it is a consistent motion towards your best self. Okay. If it's your first time joining us, if you've never been on a broadcast before, I want to tell you what Becoming You is about, because I say those two words a lot, and I kind of want you to understand why we're here and the purpose of this broadcast. So Becoming You is okay. The art of becoming oneself is past the expectations of the world to find and create and be our best and truest selves. If it's your first time joining us, thank you so much. That's why we're here. It is a journey of loving, learning, auditing, and becoming your best self. And how we communicate with others, how we interact with others is a big part of that. We do not live in a vacuum. And as much as we want to be able to separate ourselves from other people, we still have to communicate and interact with people on a daily basis. And those people are not always going to go through the world. You must be armed with a sense of understanding that everyone's not going to be in your place of development, but that doesn't mean that you should allow them to take you out of that space. And these tools are going to help you do that. So you're asking me, all right, Marjani, all this sounds good. We're talking about mindfulness, because what it does is, number one, you give yourself the ability to reduce anger or offense, because now I'm open to hearing what they have to say, even if it's something I don't agree with. So what essentially you're saying is, I'm preparing myself to hear something that I might not agree with and that I might not like, but I am choosing to be open to it. So now you have already prepared yourself mentally to hear something that you might not like, and that's okay. But because you've mentally prepared yourself, now it's not, oh, I've been smacked in the head with something that I don't agree with, and now my initial response is to attack. Now it's, okay, I hear them. Let's dig deeper into this. Why do you feel that way? You're able to respond in a way that isn't so riddled with like the personal connection to your opinion, because your opinion is valid, but you cannot make other people agree with your opinion, no matter how right you are. I mean, even if you are right, even if it's facts, even if you lay out 10 paragraphs for people, even if you lay out the facts, if somebody doesn't want to agree with you, if they're committed to not understanding, or if they just cannot wrap their minds around it, there's going to be the potential for some communication breakdown and the efficacy of the conversation, right? How efficient are you with getting your point across with layer, right? So this happens all the time. And as you begin your process of learning how to do this, it will take some practice. But when you're hearing someone speak, most of us are creating a rebuttal or whatever. whatever our debate is or our comments are about that statement, as soon as we hear it, our mind is not present to the wholeness of the person's conversation or opinion. And what this does is, number one, it steals our openness. So it steals our intent. That person's expression of how they feel or their opinion, that is the moment that you steal your own intent that you have put into place. You did the work for that. So that's one major thing. Don't steal from yourself. Be intentional, be open, but also back to a mindful state where you're listening openly, where you're not battles in your head, gain a deeper understanding of what their opinion is, and therefore can explain your point with better clarity. So maybe if they see perfectly within the sky is red, and you're like, oh, that's why they're wearing rose-colored glasses. But if you tuned out when they said the sky is red, you would have never figured out that the reason they think the sky is red is because they're wearing rose-colored glasses. And maybe your job is to tell them to take those glasses off so that they can see that the sky is blue. But you won't your opinion might have on somebody. Plus, who wants to waste their breath, right? No expected that. So I want to talk about being internally and externally focused a little bit more. Specifically, your mindset while people are saying things that you don't agree with, right? A differing situation. That into that person's point of view can be a ready to rebut them in a way, and they haven't finished their point. And so you haven't considered the entirety of their position because you're just ready to prove them wrong. And that doesn't feel good to people. And it often gives off the wrong energy. So once again, giving them the space and time to actually explain their point, you listen with clarity, but you get to choose that. And then you get to choose to make changes around who you decide you want to be. 2-minute rule. Those are really great ways for you to define character, because the people who are most clear about who they are the people who are engines on their wall. They don't just wake up, able to lift 150 pounds. I don't know, is 150 pounds a lot? 150 pounds consistently in a way that helps them become who they want to become. Becoming is an action word. Remember, everything that you choose accumulates to the picture of who you are. So in the moments that you have the opportunity, ask yourself, who am I becoming and who am I choosing to be? 2-minute rule, because if there's anything that is the most powerful, it's actionable items, right? So give yourself the ability to act. So having a compassionate, articulate, mature conversation sounds good, right? It sounds grand, but the truth of the matter is emotions can get gotten a little heated. The challenge that most people face is stepping outside of them, being your other voice in your head in check, right? We talked about this last week. Your whisper in your head isn't loud enough for your discipline to be formed. And this is going to be true in your conversations with others as well. And consistently remind yourself, stay present, stay aware, stay open. When we take an honest look at our emotions towards a situation, we gain power and control over it. So just keep giving yourself that insight. Oh, you need to listen. Remind yourself before you go into a conversation or while you're having this conversation, I am open energy, and help yourself get back on when your mind wanders and bring your mindset back to mindfulness. This is something that they teach you in meditation as well. Sometimes when your mind wanders, bringing yourself back to a state of presence and calm. It's super important to do that in your conversations as well, so that you don't start to react out of your character and say something that you might potentially regret in the future. You may stumble. You may fall, you may say the wrong things, but allow yourself time to grow. This is a journey and have these constructive conversations on a consistent level. So tomorrow we're going to deep dive into how to specifically respond to difficult situations, and what some of those situations might look like. And another key, we wrap up and I announce. Hi, hello.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm great. Who am I to today?
This is Rico Wilcoxon, a good friend of Dave.
Topic.
It's great because for the fact that I'm A&R, agree what we're trying to do. Many things you could say, just ask them what they're trying to do.
Yeah, and what you said was so interesting about having the conversations with the artist, finding out what they want. That's so key in that active listening portion, right? But more actively to what the artist wants, and then respond in a compassionate way if something can or that's that point, guys. Also, bringing it into your business sense. So we talked about relationships and we talked about family and like navigate between two. In case you don't know, the BFAM line is always open on our broadcast. That is 6 here for it. That's why we go live, so we can chat it up together. But communication, like I said, because you're like, you know what? People get on my nerves. I don't care. I'd rather just not deal with them. Kind of realize that these skills are applicable and necessary for your success no matter where you're going. If you're navigating the corporate space or your value at work or defend one and they haven't grown in the same way, in the same levels that you have. They will get there. You continue to be that bridge until they do. 2 giveaways that we want to announce. So first, we are going to give away a prize pack from the local market ATL, right? So I don't know if you guys know, but their company, love them. I drink their coffee all the time. Actually, that's what this cold cup of coffee is right here because I didn't finish it, usually do. It's delicious and you're going to get a prize pack. So we are going to our repeat listeners. Okay, so we're going to do, if you are the winner, once I announce you, just do me a favor and go to my inbox, DM me your email, and we'll make sure we get those items out to you. So our winner of today is Sherry Dura. Sherry, whether you're still on or not, we appreciate everybody that has come to all of the broadcasts, and we're so glad that you've joined me on this journey of becoming your best self and the BFAM station 109.6. We will be doing giveaways like this all the time, so make sure that you're joining in with. And we're going to do one more. We're going to do a random giveaway. As I said, if you're in the Atlanta area, we're going to do a random giveaway for someone to Sports and Social here in the Battery. And I'm actually going to let David choose the gift card to Sports and Social here at the Battery. For those of you guys who don't know, we are broadcasting out of spaces at the Battery at SunTrust Park. So it's a co-working space. There's some really great stuff here. I would definitely check it out. And it looks like our winner is Billy Massengale. Thank you so much, Billy. You are another one of our reps over at Sports and Social. So send us your email and we'll make sure you get your gift card. Thank you so much for joining us, guys. If you have not already, please make sure to subscribe to the page on YouTube, on Instagram, and on Facebook. And of course, like and share this video. Someone needs to know how to improve their communication, and you could be the reason why they start. Thank you so much for joining me on Becoming You with your host, Marjani.